Hello, children. So I hope you all are fine, safe, and healthy, and enjoyed your Deepavali. So now, today, I'm going to show you the preparation of company's balance sheet as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. I've already given you the format. Company balance sheet is prepared in a vertical form. First, equities and liabilities. Instead of writing liabilities only till now you have seen the balance sheet, liabilities in your left hand side and asset in your right hand side. Now the company balance sheet is a vertical form of balance sheet. First, in place of liabilities, we should write equities and liabilities. So that is here, equities and number one. First here, we have write Roman 1, equities and liabilities here. Equity and liabilities. Equities and liability here. So under the heading equities and liabilities, this is the first heading of the vertical form of balance sheet, equity and liabilities. Inside the equities and liabilities, we have four major headings that I have also explained you in the last class. Four major headings are: number one is shareholders fund, number two is share application money pending for allotment, number three we have non-current liabilities, and number four we have current liabilities. There are subheadings inside the share capital and share capital and share capital. Under the heading shareholders fund, we have share capital, reserve and surplus, and application share warrant. Okay, so we have again application money pending for allotment. There is no items inside that. Then we have non-current liabilities. So there are many items inside the non-current liabilities, and we have current liabilities. Anyway, let's solve this quick. Solve question number 24 given from your school textbook. So first of all, under the heading equities and liabilities, let's see here. Equities and liabilities, we have a one. So one, we have a shareholders fund. Shareholders fund. So shareholders fund. So shareholders fund here, inside the shareholders fund we have a share capital. As per the question given here is is given here share capital is given in. So share capital here. Share capital, direct share capital is given, so that will come under the heading shareholders fund. So no work is required share capital, so directly the amount you can write share capital as rupees 1 lakh. Now this is number B, we have a reserve and surplus. Reserve and surplus. Under the heading reserve, under the heading shareholders fund, reserve and surplus. So the items inside the reserve and surplus, as per the question, is capital redemption reserve. So this is, you have to write in accounts note. You have to prepare accounts note number one, reserve and surplus heading, reserve and surplus heading, capital redemption reserve, capital redemption reserve, capital redemption reserve, we have the amount of rupees 60,000. So these are the items as per the accounts note number one, reserve and surplus. We have write the accounts note here, right here, 60,000. So I hope you have understood how the items are recorded in the accounts note, and how the items are written in the balance sheet. So reserve and surplus heading, direct capital redemption reserve, that it will not written directly in the balance sheet, it will go in the accounts note. This is the item, so it will go to the, all the items will go to the accounts note. Under the heading here, capital redemption reserve will go under the heading reserve and surplus. So now next We have number 2, share application money pending. Second major heading is share application money pending allotment. Share application money pending allotment. Pending allotment. No items, no information is given here, so we'll write here nil. Our third major heading is non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities here under the heading, third major heading is non-current liabilities. Inside the non-current, under we have non-current liabilities, we have here, in non-current liabilities, we have a 10% debentures. 10% debenture non-current liabilities. So this is long-term borrowing. Long-term borrowing. So long-term borrowings here. This is account note number 2. So here long-term borrowing. So we have a long-term borrowing. This is account note number 2. So this is 10% debenture. 10% debentures. 10% debentures here is given 30,000. 30,000 is given 10% debentures. That's under the heading long-term borrowing, 30,000. So now long-term borrowings. After the long-term borrowings, we have now only one non-current liabilities. Now next we have current liabilities. So current liabilities. Current liabilities are those liabilities which is payable within the 12 months, within the span of 12 months, the amount is payable to the outsiders. So in this question here, current liabilities are here. Short-term borrowings here is short-term loan from Monica Limited. Short-term loan from Monica Limited here. Short-term loan from Monica Limited. So here, short-term borrowing. Short-term borrowings. So under the heading number 3, short-term borrowings. We have short-term loan from Monica Limited. Monica Limited. The amount here, short-term loan from Monica Limited here. Short-term loan from Monica Limited here is now 5,000. So 5,000. So this is as per the account note number 3, short-term borrowings. So that is short-term borrowings is the sub-headings under the heading current liabilities. So that is short items is short-term loan from Monica Limited. Now again here number B. Next is here we have a one more item, provision for taxation. Provision for taxation will go under the heading short-term provisions. So item number 4, the heading short-term provisions. Under the heading short-term provisions, we will write here provision for taxation. Provision for taxation. The amount is 5,000 rupees. So here short-term provision. Term provision. So this account note number 4, we have the amount is 5,000. Now the total here see, so 1,60,000, 70, 80, 90, 100. That means 2 lakh is the total, final total 2 lakhs. Under the heading equities liabilities, final total here. Total is 2 lakhs. The equities and liabilities total we have 2 lakhs. So the major headings are here. Shareholders fund. So this is the major heading here. Shareholders fund. Next we have share application money pending for allotment. That is nil. And we have non-current liabilities. Only long-term borrowing. That is long-term borrowing. That is 10% debentures. As shown in account note number 2. So that is the reference here. And number 4 we have a current liabilities. The current liabilities we have a short-term borrowings. So short-term borrowings here from the short-term loan from the Monica Limited, 5,000 rupees. That is shown by accounts note number 3, and and then again we have under the heading current liabilities, we have a short-term provisions. So subheadings. So inside that item is a provision for taxation. So that is shown in the short-term provisions accounts note number 4. So that is amount 5,000 for provision for taxation short-term provisions. So total of the equities and liabilities we have 2 lakhs. So this is how the equities and liabilities are reflected in the balance sheet. Now I'll show you the items and what are the items, how the asset sides are presented in the balance sheet. So in this question, now again there is no space down, so again I'll rub this one and continue it. So you have to prepare in your copy, you have to prepare vertical form of balance sheet. So now again I'll rub this one and continue for asset side here. Okay. I am writing here Roman 2, the major heading, the asset side, assets. Okay, this is the assets here. Asset side here, assets. How the assets are shown here now. Assets are divided here. The assets are divided here into only two major headings. Assets, very easy. Assets are divided into only 2 major headings. Those 2 major headings are, number 1 is non-current assets and number 2 is current assets. So non-current assets, first is non-current assets. Number 1 is non-current assets. Non-current assets. Non-current assets. There are many subheadings. There are subheadings inside the non-current asset. So the fixed tangible assets, fixed intangible assets. The tangible asset, intangible assets. You know, tangible assets are which are physical shape and size, plant and machinery, furniture. So intangibles are those assets which cannot be seen, which is invisible. So they are copyright, trademark, patent, goodwill. So here, so now let's see the first we have in expert question given here. First is given here fixed tangible assets. So fixed tangible assets, fixed tangible assets. So as per the accounts note number 5, now accounts note number 5, we have fixed tangible assets. So fixed tangible asset is here plant and machinery. Inside this plant and machinery, the amount of plant and machinery is 1 lakh here. So rupees 1 lakh. So only this much, only there, if there's furniture, motor vehicle, building, land and building, all this will come under the fixed tangible assets. So this is under account note number 5, we have 1 lakh. Now next we have a intangible asset like goodwill, trademark, copyright is not given here. So as per the question now, if you see the question here in the share in Radhika Limited. Share in Radhika Limited is a non-current investment. That is number 2, non-current investment here. Non-current investment under the heading current asset, non-current investment. These are the subheadings under the major heading non-current assets. So let's see the working note number 6. Non-current investment, that is shares in Radhika Limited. Shares in Radhika Limited. So the amount we have a non-current investment 50,000. 50,000. So this as per account note number 1, number 6 here. we can write here 50,000. Now we have non-current asset only this much as per the question. Now we have a next one is current assets. Current assets is a major heading. Current assets. So inside this now, what are the items that are the current assets here? Current assets are inventories given directly here. No need to show in the working note. So inventories given. So first we have inventories. Some of the other questions you may get: stores, spares, closing stocks, so work in progress. So all this may be given here. Directly is given, no working note is required. So under the heading inventories we have 20,000. Direct amount is 20,000 here. In the heading inventories 20,000. Okay, inventories 20,000. So now inventories 20,000. Next we have trade receivable. Now next we have trade receivable. Trade receivable. Trade receivable. In other question we may get sundry debtors, inside the sundry debtors, bills receivable. So these two items are coming inside the trade receivable, but directly trade receivable subheading is given. So sometimes you may get debtors and bills receivable. These two items you have to show in the working note, accounts note under the heading trade receivable. But directly, since the item directly is given trade receivable, so directly we can note down trade receivable as rupees 10,000. Trade receivable directly 10,000 is given. Now input IGST, input CGST, input SGST. These are accounts note under the heading other current assets. So other current assets now under the heading current asset, other current assets. So these are the subheadings, so that all these input GSTs will go under the working note other current asset here under heading other current assets. Under heading other current assets, input IGST, input CGST, input SGST. So here the amount are here given here 4,000, 8,000, 8,000. So here 4,000, 8,000 and 8,000, that will make you 20,000. So 20,000 is the other current asset as per working note number 7. Working note number 7, 20,000. So now this is the final total now. 1,50,000 plus 50 here. 2 lakh is the final total in the asset side. So here 2 lakhs is the final total. This is the total of the asset side. So our equities and liabilities total was rupees 2 lakhs. Again, asset side we got 2 lakhs. So in this way, the balance sheet tallies equities and liabilities, and the asset side is 2 lakh. So this is how we prepare the balance sheet. So by items, you have to remember what are the items that will go to the accounts note, and what are the major headings in the equities and liabilities and the asset side, and what are sub-headings that you have to remember. And the items are shown in all the items are shown in the accounts note. Items are not directly shown in the balance sheet. Items are shown in the accounts note. What are the items that are under which heading that you have to remember, that you have to learn by heart it, and then you can show in the, so that you can show it directly in the accounts note. So, and after that you can it will be reflected in the bit under the different headings and the major headings and the sub headings in the company's balance sheet. So this is the preparation of company's balance sheet. So what you have to remember is here the format, as I am repeatedly telling you that the preparation of balance sheet, company form of balance sheet, you have to remember the format, the major headings, sub headings, and what are the items that will go to the accounts note. So thank you.